Hi, my dear young aspirants of IELTS examination. My name is Jinson Anthony, one of the faculty members of Smart Academy, which is in Kaladi, and I am proud to tell that it is one of the learning institutes of wisdom. Many of you might have appeared in your IELTS examinations. A good number of you have passed well and good. Some of you might find it difficult. It is neither because you are not talented, nor because you have less capabilities, solely because the methods that you follow during the time that you appear in the exam. First and foremost, the exam is the culmination of your efforts. For example, if you go for a war, how do you go? You have to prepare very well. Where there is hard work, there is success. So when you go for the exam, prepare very well. So for the examination, you can deliver it very well. And consider the examiner as your close friend or one of your family members. How do you talk to your family member or your close friend? So nicely, so frankly, so openly, and you need not have any fear or tension. Therefore, consider him as the closest friend. Therefore, you can deliver or whatever is in your mind would come out very well. And have a pleasant smile, because the examiner looks at the completion that you have, because your body language shows whether you are confident or not. Therefore, have a good body language. And when the examiner asks you a question, be precise. Many of us have the tendency to beat around the bush. That means you tell things from worldwide, but to the question you may not point out. The examiner wants the real answer than hearing this and that. And you may use a wide range of vocabularies, always good. But your vocabulary should have proper meaning, and the meaning should go along with the content that you are telling. Your content and the vocabulary should not differ. Another tip that you can follow in your speaking section is that when the cue card is provided to you, it might have 4 sub-questions. It might have 5 sub-questions, and some would have only 3 sub-questions. And you have 2 minutes to talk and 1 minute to prepare yourself. And if you take that 1 minute for writing a long essay on your paper that is provided, you are not going to deliver it well. Prior to writing on the paper, have things on your mind so you can very well deliver it. And read the question very well, because the tense that is given in the question is really a matter. Some of you would tell things in past tense, but the question would be in present tense. And sometimes the sub-questions, 2 of them would be in present tense, and 1 would be in past tense, and 1 would be in future tense. So when you deliver things, follow all the tenses. If only 1 tense is there, okay, tell only in 1 tense. And if there are 3 tenses, please follow all the 3 tenses. Sometimes you may not understand what the examiner asks you. Yeah, it is part of life. It's part of all the human beings. We may not understand because of their accent. There is no problem of asking to repeat the question. But when you ask the examiner to repeat the question, ask politely. That means, could you please repeat the question? Or would you please repeat the question? Some of you have a tendency to ask in colloquial languages. That means, don't use that way. Always be polite. Many of you might know the difference between writing and speaking. When you write, you may use a proper example to substantiate your answer. An incident that has happened or which has come in a survey. But during the speaking, you can provide your own experiences. It's always good, because when you tell your experience, the answer is getting more substantiated. And one of the main things that you need to notice is that when you tell an experience, you might be speaking about a person, maybe a boy or girl. If you're talking about a boy, always follow the pronoun he or his. And if you're talking about a girl, always follow the pronoun she and her. And some of you might mix up both. You might be talking about a boy, but your pronoun is she, her. So what's the meaning of telling? The examiner can clearly know that you don't know the difference between he and she. There your band is. Don't make a mess between he and she. Many of you might have read the Maca, the cue cards that are provided there, and lot of resources in which you get long essays how to produce the answer. I can tell you that don't reproduce the answer, because the answer that is given there is given by someone. We want your answer. So when you answer, be spontaneous, and you can include your own experiences. Be precise to the question, because we have the tendency that we just beat around the bush. We all have done social studies, and part of our history, we have written a lot of essays. It's all big stories. Here we don't want big stories. Be polite to the question, answer spontaneously. Don't by hard words, don't memorize the answer. Be openly and frankly tell the answer. Don't be ever perplexed. That means don't be tensed or anxious about when the examiner asks you a why question. It's only because you might not have said the real answer, or there might not be the clarity in your answer. So when the examiner asks you why, start with because why question is for better clarity. So the answer that you have said early really needs little more clarity, elaboration. So elaborate it in a nice way. Don't be perplexed when they ask you why. Okay. I have seen a lot of students when they speak, they don't have a proper eye contact. Have you noticed that when we don't have eye contact, that means we are telling a lie. When we lie to someone, we don't look at the eyes. Here, please look at the eyes, because when you look at the eyes, there is confidence and you can tell very well. Some would have a tendency to just look on the walls and look around. Please don't do that mistake. Onto the face, look on the eyes and tell frankly. Friends, what I have said are only few tips for your speaking session. There are lot many. I will be coming with another video to help you out for your coming IELTS speaking sessions. And if you have a beautiful recipe of preparing a food, is it enough for you to prepare the food? You have to make the food. By trying, you can prepare the food. So having tips doesn't make you competent. Only by practicing you can reach at the success point. Thank you.